The Miami Dolphins are staring down a moment that could define their entire season. It's win-or-go-home territory as they prepare to face the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium. The stakes couldn't be clearer. Victory is a must, but that's not all. They also need Kansas City to handle their business against Denver. It's the kind of scenario that turns every second of the game into a nail-biter, where nothing is guaranteed and every move counts. History, however, has not always been kind to the Dolphins in moments like this. Looking back at 2022, the Dolphins managed to scrape by in a similar situation. It wasn't pretty, far from it. They faced the Jets at home, and with Skylar Thompson at quarterback, the offense was stuck in neutral. But somehow, with the help of Jason Sanders' clutch field goal in the final moments, they secured a gritty 11-6 win. The Buffalo Bills played their part, beating New England to clear the path, but the Dolphins proved they could grind out a result when the stakes were sky high. It wasn't inspiring, but it was enough. 2 years earlier, it was a completely different story. Miami entered the final game of the 2020 season in control of their own destiny, only to watch it all unravel in spectacular fashion. Buffalo came out firing on all cylinders, and Miami simply couldn't keep up. The result was a humiliating 56-26 loss that felt like a slap in the face. To make matters worse, every other team in the playoff race, the Browns, Ravens, and Colts, secured their spots with wins. Miami's dreams crumbled in real time, a gut-wrenching reminder of how brutal this league can be. 2013 brought its own kind of heartbreak. The Dolphins had 2 chances to punch their ticket to the playoffs, and they squandered both of them. First came an embarrassing shutout loss to Buffalo, and then came the finale against the Jets. It started well enough, with Miami jumping to an early lead, but everything fell apart from there. Charles Clay was stuffed on a pivotal 4th-down run, and Ryan Tannehill's 3 second-half interceptions sealed their fate. It wasn't just a loss, it was a collapse that epitomized frustration and missed opportunities. In 2009, the Dolphins found themselves needing a miracle just to stay in the playoff conversation. They required an improbable combination of wins and losses across the league, and even then, their hopes were slim. Facing Pittsburgh, Miami fought but ultimately couldn't overcome the odds. Chad Henne went down with an injury, and Tyler Thigpen stepped in, only to throw 2 costly interceptions that put the game, and the season, out of reach. By the time the final whistle blew, the dream was already over, yet it still stung to see it slip away like that. If there's one season that stands out as a beacon of hope, it's 2008. This was the year Miami shocked the league, going from a disastrous 1-15 campaign to AFC East champions. The final hurdle? A must-win game against the Jets in New Jersey. Chad Pennington, cast aside by New York, delivered one of the most satisfying performances in franchise history. He led the Dolphins to a 24-17 victory, completing their remarkable turnaround. It wasn't just about clinching the division, it was about redemption, about proving that even in the darkest moments, there's a way back to the top. But for every story of triumph, there's one of heartbreak, and few losses sting as much as what happened in 2002. Miami had everything in their grasp, holding a 24-13 lead over New England with just 5 minutes left. Somehow, they let it all slip away. The Patriots rallied, forced overtime, and delivered the final blow, sending the Dolphins tumbling out of playoff contention. It was a collapse that left scars, the kind of game that fans and players alike replay in their minds for years. Now, here we are again, another season hanging in the balance. The Dolphins have been here before, and the outcomes have ranged from inspiring to devastating. There's no way to predict what's coming, but one thing is clear, this is a moment that will define the team. The Jets, as always, are a thorn in Miami's side, relishing the chance to play spoiler. They've got nothing to lose, which makes them dangerous. The Dolphins, meanwhile, have everything on the line, carrying the weight of a season's worth of effort and hope. Then there's the added complication of relying on Kansas City. Depending on another team to help secure your fate is always a bitter pill to swallow. It creates an extra layer of tension, a sense of helplessness as you wait and hope for the chips to fall in your favor. This is what makes these moments so exhilarating and so excruciating. The stakes are enormous, the pressure suffocating. The Dolphins have a chance to rise above it all, to prove they belong in the playoff conversation. Or they could falter, once again leaving fans to wonder what might have been. The stage is set, the players know what's at stake, and all that's left is to see how the story unfolds.